Okay, this is just going to be a little more of devlogging on the GameOff 2023 submission. This is our game, and I'm just going to play through a little bit of it. I did the tutorial in the previous video on the A-star grid. That's just going to show how to do that, how to do the grid and the 2D navigation that you see here. But this is the basics of the puzzle. You're going to put in the weights and clear a path for the fish like it says there. So it starts off very basic, which is, the idea being to help get the player into it. But this gets surprisingly difficult quickly once you start, going through all the possibilities that you can do with this. I'll demonstrate that here once we get into a few more. This over here is just a grid container where you see the goldfish. Basically, we just set a number that's going to be like, this means you did a good job and you get a goldfish for that. Just adds it into that grid container over there. And this is the showcase of the game, the piranha. You want to not get eaten by this piranha. Let's see here, need to get him out of the scene. And then we got a path for the green fish. So another thing is, let's just show a little later level. I'm not going to bore everybody by going through each one of those. You can just play with the specific scene here. So we also add these arrows, which will change the direction of the fish. So we go like so. So that's one way to screw yourself right there, because now if you try and get these green fish in, they're done. Yep. So you can see here we need to do this first, and this is just an introduction to the arrow concept. It's pretty simple, obviously. Here's another variation on that. That one actually caused a bug the first time. I basically, when I have the green fish leave the scene, I have it checked to see, like, okay, is there any other green fish in the scene? And if not, go to the next level. That didn't work in that case because both fish exited at exactly the same time. So another A-star grid function that was used there was to detect if any of the other fish are in the grid. And that's the way it ended up happening, is if there are any other fish, it doesn't count them as another fish if they're outside that grid. So let's have another look here. This one, it's kind of like chess in a way. Eventually you need to foresee what's going to happen. So this one I can get out of the way. There you go. Oops. See, at this point it doesn't matter. Just get that fish out of there. I'm just randomly doing that. There you go. So this is the game's designed so that you can have up to 4 digits here. We only had 2 levels with more than 2 digits here because the difficulty kind of exponentially increases once you start messing with all the different scenarios. So this one, Randy did most of the levels. I added this one to just very, easily go into the concept of the second number. That's very easy. And this one's just kind of a variation on that, where, you put the arrows in, etc., etc. So something worth mentioning here is if you're trying to get yourself to finish something, or you get wrapped up and keep expanding the scope of whatever you're doing more and more, or trying to bite off more than you can chew. I'm notorious for doing that. Game Jam is a great way to force yourself to finish something, and you'll learn a lot just from doing that, even if it's a really small project like that. The best answer to that question, like how do I get myself to finish something, is leave yourself no choice. So one of the cool things about GameOff is it's sponsored by GitHub, I think, and the way it works is whenever you submit a game to this Game Jam, you also need to provide the source code in the Git repository. So that's right here in our case. So if you're looking for an example project in any game engine, this is a great place to look for it. So obviously in my case it's Godot. Obviously there's a lot of Unity, but you'll find a lot of stuff on there. There are over 600 submissions for this year alone. So that's pretty cool. So if anyone's looking for how do I do something in general, you can get a lot of example code by going to GameOff. So if anyone wants to see how something in this game was done, just let me know. I'll probably be able to provide that. I think the most difficult part was the A-star grid and the navigation. Like once that was set up, a lot of this stuff you'll see done in almost any game, but I mean that doesn't mean it's not valuable. So yeah, I'll put a link to the Git repository as well as to the itch page. This is where all the games are hosted for the Game Jam. So you can go to the game page and download it and play it if you want to. Or if you're a fellow game offer, feel free to rate it. So awesome.